despite the challenges, to be on this conversation, to inform Liberians about what making news in this country. And I'm honored. My name is Harris Willen. I'm here this morning. We'll be joined by Ismail Lokin and the lead host of this conversation, Buakai Kamaruni Abenia, this morning. But how being, we have to inform you about things making news in this country. And so our menu this morning at 9 o'clock this morning, we are certain to have with us the Director General of the Liberia Agricultural Institute. Yeah, the bureau there at the Ministry of Agriculture. We are certain to have him on this conversation this morning. It runs up to 10, yeah, at 10 o'clock from 9 up to 10. On the flip side, we have some studio chat segments we will bring for you this morning. Okay, so we'll have the Director General of the Liberia Agricultural and Industrial Training Bureau, Mr. Abraham Bailey, will be our guest at 9 o'clock this morning. On the flip side, at 8 o'clock, we'll talk some social issues. We'll talk some issues surrounding children in this country. A group of joined us this morning at 8 o'clock to have that discussion. But welcome, folks. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Punch Breakfast. You know, a lot of things making news in this country. Like last evening, I received a lot of calls from some folks. You know, the Liberia Telecommunications Authority went about, yep, release a list of non-compliant institutions that the LTA claimed that those institutions are in non-compliance with the regulations of the LTA. And mind you, it is that body that regulates and provide guidance and supervision of media houses in Liberia in terms of providing frequencies, in terms of ensuring that you follow all of the government measures in terms of how you want to have, your radio stations should operate. And the interesting thing about it is that since that list came out on yesterday of the president, I'm yet to see a single media owner to take an exception to that. Yeah. So it tells you a part of that as well that this morning I want to say out before we transition to other issues. It is not that the radio stations purposely, want to be in defiance of the government regulations. Again, it boils down to anywhere for this matter. Let me place it this way: when you have what we call a space where you need to pay money for certain thing, and there are people or there are individuals clothed with the responsibility to supervise you. Once those individuals are less effective, what will happen is that you use your right on on an inefficiency, to live or to be there for a very long time. And that is what has happened over the years with the LTA. So we had an institution like the LTA clothed with the responsibility. I was going through the listing and I saw some media houses, for instance, they applied since 2016, 2017. Some of them over 5-6 years. Their lessons have expired, and no one cares to go after them. So, like that, you have the media institutions to ride on that. Oh yes, especially we have a challenging situation in our country that there are less advertisements. You have less publicity from radio stations are not making much money. Radio stations are surviving on little or no commercial that's coming in. You have staff to pay. You have other areas to look at. I mean, so it's a whole lot. So when you have a government institution like that of the LTA that over the years should ensure that those media institutions follow the rules, the regulations governing them, and you have a group of people at that level that are showing less interest. Obviously, the media institutions, media officials, media owners will ride on that. So when you look at the conversation, if we are at a time that So 2017, 2018, some media houses applied since 2018. The lessons got expired, and there is nothing they care less about it because at that level you had the LTO functioning in a way in that at times they said, less attention is being given to all of these things. Everyone moment you go and collect your stuff. That's what they were focused on. So the new management headed by Abdullah Kamara, said no, we cannot proceed this way. I mean, government survives, government functions, and government will be effective if everyone, what is required of you, you do just exactly it. And so the guys are saying, no, let's follow what needs to be followed. That is to say, if you are a media house operating, the law requires you have a lesson, and your lesson should be up to date, not updated. It should be up to date. So, like that, you are compared to follow the regulations. Thankfully, they took over from the predecessors. I'm saying from the predecessors, and you can see over the years that I'm saying less attention given to that. So we say kudos to the team. We hope that this it is an early warning. It is not necessarily that the media houses have been closed down. No, it is an early warning. I mean, in every responsible environment, what will happen is that you will provide an early warning to what will happen, or I'm saying the potential, the threat involving something. So you see, this thing will happen. But again, there are ways, there are measures that we can curtail them. So the LT is saying those institutions that are in no compliance, it is interesting. It's upon you to go out there and get your registration, go out there and get all of your necessary, go through the process. Like I was reading through the list and I saw some institutions that registration, applying for that license is already in progress. So like that, you expect before the end of this month to next month, they will have their lesson. So that's just for it. So you don't, you know. Okay, but we move on now, folks. Today is Friday, and usually on a Friday we do a bit of social discussion of which we're going to have in our second segment. This morning we'll talk more about children in this country, the development, children development. A lot of kids are out there on the street. Less or no attention has been given to them. This morning we're going to look at that, and thankfully we'll be joined by a team, uh, some social activists in that area this morning. We're going to sell out that conversation up to 9 o'clock. Yep, we will have that conversation this morning up to 9 o'clock. But this is where we're going to end up on our studio chat segment. The House of Representatives is suspected to begin a retreat as well on today, similarly to that of the Liberian Senate. Mind you, a few days, I'm just some days ago, the Liberian Senate held a retreat in Buchanan. That retreat, the quote unquote controversial retreat, the retreat that was marred by criticism, and as we speak, Liberians are still reportedly dissatisfied over the manner and forms in which the cash and other issues surrounding that process. For us, we said on this radio, and we will continue to repeat that retreats are necessary in every given environment, whether it is on an international setting, whether with local NGOs, whether in government, retreats are necessary. Now, it sets the pace, it provides an agenda, and informs you as an organization as to what are your strengths, your weakness, how can you improve on them, and how will you tailor your argument or the work that you do to favor those of which and your targeted audience. So we will go for a retreat and say, for instance, like that of the Liberian Senate, we go to set the agenda. And this is a word that was used. A lot of folks were dissatisfied, but I buy into it. Now, to set the agenda, we enter, the government was endorsed on 22nd of January. So prior to that time, somewhere around the 18, the 55th legislature was indicted because they set the pace to bring in a new government. So that process went on. So from January to June, it is arguably 6 months. So 6 months has passed, and someone said, "How would the Liberian Senate take 6 months to to be 6 months before setting up the agenda. Now, this is how it works out. You have a new breed of legislators, especially at the level of the Senate. You have a lot of new faces. Now, everyone entered the Senate with a specific agenda. Each and every senator has what it takes, what they campaign on, that they told the people in their various counties that this is what we want to do. So at that level, when you enter at the Capitol building, you want to take your agenda and take that of the government's agenda and see how well yours align with the government. After doing that, you get us specific points within that tailored, that surround the promises you made to the people when you were campaigning at the time. After doing that, the House functions, differently, even though it's a place that you have an open platform that people, everyone will talk. But the final analysis, a lot of the decisions are made from committee rooms. So you want to see how well you can connect yourself as a senator to the various committee heads and the different proceedings of those committees. Of those committees. When all of that, have been carried out, then now you have a conversation, you have an understanding about the proceedings of the House, the proceedings of the different committees, what the government wants to do, and how and what you want to do as a senator, and how your desire aligns with the House's agenda, the government's agenda, and everything. So that process, each and every senator went through that process. So at the concluding state, they will say there is a need for a retreat. Now the retreat will bring everyone on board, right? Individually, we provide the way in which we think our argument should tailor the government's agenda. Our arguments should surround the government agenda so that it should be benefit the Liberian people. So, for instance, if President Walker is saying we want to build roads, we want to build school in Bombing, then the Liberian is saying, Mr. President, it's true that we want to build roads, schools in Bombing, but we are considering that there is a need. We have the roads in Bombing built instead of the schools, because when the roads are built, we believe that private citizens in Bombing and even NGOs will see the need to go and erect schools. So in terms of pressing priorities, we think that the roads are important to be constructed than that of the school. Because if you have a Senate or a House that sees beyond what you just see and considers the interest of the people, what the people desires are, then we'll have a conversation surrounding that. So that's why the retreat, I have been one person that welcomed and added as such. So the Liberian Center went for our retreat. We are yet to come and we're yet to see, a final read out from the Senate as to what was discussed, some of the things that they said, and what they agreed upon. So we're hoping to see that. So the House of Representatives as well will on today commence. We hope to be joined by our lower house reporter Gibson G this morning to fill us in as to what has been said. Yep, we're hoping to have Gibson G this morning on a conversation. Gibson is our lower house reporter, and the House of Representatives will commence their retreat on today. So Gibson will join us. I'm doing everything possible so Gibson will come on this morning and tell us how long will be the how long will the retreat last for, and what are some of the things that the House has said that they will discuss throughout the retreat, and where will it be taking place. Yep. So Gibson, Gibson, want to take Gibson for a few minutes this morning. Yep, I'm working, hoping to. Okay, just let me get this thing from here. So, but okay, let me my word. We have a challenging weather this morning, so the internet is giving a little bit of problem. Okay, so it says the House of Representatives will this Friday begin a 3-day legislative reform forum 2024 at Farmington Hotel in Margibi County, according to a release issued by the Press Bureau of the House of Representatives. The 3 days reformed forum will be held under the theme Responsive Lawmaking, Proactive Oversight, and People-Centered Representation. The event, which is also a legislative capacity building training, is an initiative of the House leadership in partnership with the European Union, the Sudan government, the Irish Aid, UNDP, and UN Women. The release further states that the forum seeks to highlight expected outcome, shared understanding of the agenda and induction context and scope, identification of specific expectations of the members and possible adjournment of the agenda, and that's adjustment of the agenda, the introduction of the Bureau's legislative system. So it concluded by additionally the gathering will underscore an overview of the new elections law, better engagement with relevant stakeholders, including the National Elections Commission, NEC. Okay, so Gibson G is uh, lower house our lower house reporter. Gibson has joined us thankfully this morning. You're gonna fill us in, Gibson. Hi, good morning and welcome to the conversation.
Well, good morning, Harris, and it's a pleasure to be here this morning on your show. And I feel so excited to be here this morning.
Mhm. How is Capitol building? I mean, of recent we have had lot of claims, counter claims over some issues at the Capitol building as a whole.
Well, yeah, Capitol Building is a place where there are lots of exchange of ideas, exchange of idea. It's a political hub of this country. So as usual, if you go Capitol Building every day, what you hear is politics and every other thing. But again, on the overall, the Capitol Building, especially where I do work, sound is great, and this is one of the first kind because I cover the 54th,
Mhm.
and this is the 55th, and for the past 6 months now, since the 55th, there are lots of changes I've seen so far, especially when it comes to the attendance
Mhm.
of representatives. It's been very high. Most time, almost all of the session days, you have about 50 plus
About 50
members,
plus members.
and this is the first of a kind.
Mhm.
Usually, you have 30 members, 35.
At times, most often you
Yes,
see the chambers is
it's
entirely
empty.
empty.
But of recent, for the past 6 months, under the speakership of Fonati Kofa, the House of Representatives have had a very, very handsome numbers of attendance. So,
Were you to look through, I mean, in terms of perhaps understanding, especially with your experience from the 54, now joining to the 55th. I mean, as to perhaps what could be one of the reasons why we have perhaps an increasing number in terms of, I mean, within the attendance.
I could say it's based on public pressure
Mhm.
because you have media coverage and people go are always live when section is ongoing,
Mhm.
and you will see on the live you could hear public outcry why this place is empty and these people are taking pay, not doing it like when people's job. So the 55th, I think this the term they come to make a difference.
Mhm.
And most importantly, you have many like minds as compared to ever before. People who've been who have witnessed, some of whom that were once working at Capitol Building, they knew some of the
Mhm.
procedures and why it is to be in section. I think it boils down to just changes and the leadership of the house. So if you have a very good leadership, like on the speaker right now, he's one person, both opposition lawmakers,
Mhm.
imposition lawmakers, no position lawmakers, they really, really enjoying the confidence of that man. So most of the time you have people, coming into section as compared to before.
Okay, we hope it is our expectation that they maintain social spirit
Most definitely.
as we move on. But let's move, Gibson. We are receiving reports that the House of Representatives is expected to go through to have a 3-day retreat. Yep, that I'm told in Margibi County. Mind you, we took so much interest in this development. Having had the experience with that of the just ended retreat of the Liberian Senate held in Buchanan that has been greeted with a lot of mixed reactions from Liberians in and out of the country. And so, with this one that the House of Representatives is planning to have, I mean, you want to give us an insight about when would these activities and the various issues surrounding them.
Yes, of course. the House is holding a 3 days legislative reform or forum 2024. So it is a forum. It's not like necessarily a retreat, but forum retreats just similarly to discuss progress made thus far in the first quarter of the first sitting of the House of Representatives. So this forum will be held at the Farmington Hotel in Margibi County. And yesterday was the arrival day for lawmakers. They will be staying there. Some of them
they will be staying.
They will be staying there. So some of them who might want to come to town, but it was advised that lawmakers stay at that place because you don't want to have an event where after a day they had another lawmaker come back to town to run after everything. So your own focus should be on the forum. And the arrival time was on yesterday, the 20th, and today is the official opening of the forum. And mind you, to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Right Honorable Fonati Kofa, made a very, 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 statement on Tuesday, about blasting at the Ministry of Finance and threatening to shut down the House of Representatives because he said the House isn't receiving the kind of benefits that they should be receiving as compared to the Liberian Senate. And also said they put in for money to have their retreat, but very unfortunately, the Ministry of Finance told them that there's no money. And on the contrary, the Liberia Revenue Authority boss, Commissioner Double Jara, have made, that clarification to the House of Representatives that there is enough money in the government's covers. So the Speaker has some, issue with the Ministry of Finance. But because of that, Ministry of Finance saying there's no money to give to the House of Representatives for retreat, the House, having planned for this retreat, have went out to international NGOs, to sponsor this forum. And very fortunately for them, this capacity building training for lawmakers and a forum of the House leadership is in partnership with the European Union, the Swedish Storage, the RHA, the UNDP, and the UN Women. These are international partners that are partnering with the House of Representative leadership to organize this. The forums are calling to the House's committee chair on rules, other administration, and the Ways Means Finance, the Marvin Co and this in Sibo. Is seek to highlight expected outcome, share understanding of the agenda, the induction context and scope, identification of specific expectations of the members and possible adjustment to agenda introduction of Liberia's legislative system. So it will maintain that legislator will have a clearer understanding of their roles, their duties, their responsibilities within the legislative framework, their engagement with stakeholders, and trust and cooperation between the legislature and stakeholders, leading to a more constructive and positive interaction. For example, Harris, you have like 90% of representatives in this 55th are all new lawmakers. Some of this is the first time serving as lawmaker. So some of them, some of the procedures, the proceeding in legislative reforms, in legislative responsibilities. So this particular reform will help them to understand, have a greater understanding how the legislature work. For example, most people don't know, people believe that lawmaker only go to work 2 times a week, which is not the case. Lawmaker only have sitting 2 times a day,
2 times a
week. Sorry,
a week,
2 times a week, and they go to work Monday to Friday. They go to work Monday. They go to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I'm concerned, Gibson. When you mentioned that the Speaker's account provided that they applied or they requested the Ministry of Finance to support this endeavor, and that of which the Finance Ministry is yet to live up to that commitment. But the LRA director General Double Jara is saying that the government has sufficient
money.
funds in its account to even shoulder some of those responsibilities.
Mhm.
Now we have foreign partners that are sponsoring this cause. I'm afraid that this is how our government, there is a potential, expectation. There is an expectation that after this initiative, if that the house will be controlled by those foreign partners. Because mind you now, if we're having those foreign partners sourcing, funding the activities of the house at the time that the government should be doing, then it means that they have a voice. The partners then at times they are able to influence the decision of the house.
I don't think this is a case of it.
Mhm.
The partners I've just named, the UN Women, the UNDP, the Irish Aid, the Swedish government, these people have programs relative to legislative agenda. So it's not just going to the people to help you. They get programs that the last time you have the Swedish ambassador to Liberia, went at the capital and met with lawmakers. They have programs for legislators. So the house is just using this alternative because they have no other alternative, because they've already planned, they've already announced that by this time we will be having a legislative reform forum that will abreast our fellow new legislators about the functionings and the workings of the House of Representatives. So it's not about UN Women controlling, having jurisdiction over the House of Representatives. This is just a partnership. Like, even most time you have lawmakers go outside country for trainings, and sometimes those trainings that they go for is being sponsored by some of these partners. So because the government is saying they not agree or approve monies that has been requested by the House of Representatives for this particular retreat, they have no other alternative but to make some proposals. And because most of the partners that I've named, the UN Women or whatever them, they have programs that are particularly strictly for legislative agendas. So if you have, once you wanted to have had maybe legislator engagement with legislators, and you have proposal from the same legislator that, having our retreat, but we want you to help us with some finance. It's not about having control over the legislature. Somehow, some way, it might be too, but it's not necessarily
because the thing about it, if you have in foreign partners, regardless it is UN, regardless it is Swedish government, but if you have in foreign partners, most often, sourcing activities of the legislature, the government as a whole. Mind you, Liberians are already complaining that the government the government is being controlled. This conversation has been in the pipeline that our government, America will listen to America, these different kinds of perceptions. So that's why when we look at it, if we have in a legislator, our legislature, especially the lower house, that should be independent, and she's running crying to her foreign partners to assist them with the different activities. It is good, right? But again, this is a given situation. There is a likelihood that as we move along, I'm reading through the minds of Liberians this morning, that as we go along, the legislature will continue to enjoy this thing. Every time when there's challenge, when the government or the Ministry of Finance is not listening to them, they run to their foreign partners. And when you start to build a relationship of this kind, Gibson, I'm seeing
but Harry,
a bit troublesome.
On an overall, this has been a practice. This is not the first of a kind. The legislature, or not even the House of Representatives, the entire legislature, sometimes they have projects, and if government is now not in a position to facilitate those projects, they make proposals. That's why you have partners in country. So these are international NGOs, right? So once the government is not in a position to do certain things, you have an alternative. That is, go to the international partners, make a proposal, write a proposal to them, and maybe in a tone of maybe 1,000 or 40,000, 50,000. But the only question right now is how much are those NGOs sponsoring this particular money with? Because imagine that the legislature have a central administration. So probably the houses and maybe human resource or the procurement department at the central administration may have got some money and they get it, but it was not enough. That's why the House's Committee on Waste, Misfinance, and the Rules Order Administration have gone out to the people and wrote proposal to them.
Because the press bureau able to inform you journalists as to the total in terms of the budget? I mean, that's been attached.
No, definitely they've not done so. Even yesterday, after sitting, the members have as executive, and whenever members have executive, even press member don't be there. Sergeant I don't even stay. Even the microphone controller don't stay. Only the lawmaker themselves. So they always have a executive if they have some issues. So who knows what they will discuss there? But they've never briefed, the members of the press. And this morning, there will be official opening. But as usual, in the kind of engagement, the press bureau have outlined list of institutions, media institutions, to provide coverage for that particular opening. Very unfortunate for us, we weren't selected to be a part of that. But howbeit, I know some of our colleagues will be there and will get the feedback, because these are some of the things to note, to give an overview of that particular reform forum. How much are these, because you have about 5 in partnership, so it's not a child's play. You have European Union 1, the Swedish 2, the Irish 8, 3, UNDP 4, and the UN Women 5. About 5 international partners, in co-sponsoring this, partnering with the House's leadership to organize this section. And like we said, it is very much good as well, because sometimes I can hear people saying there are a lot of lawmakers saying going to horse in Antoy. Sometimes people don't get it. You don't expect the person to go and speak when that person have not understand proceedings of how to speak. First of all, addressing House members, the first you say Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, or co-presiding distinct colleagues. Some people don't really have the understanding. Other people know. Most of them only know the responsibility of lawmaking, oversight,
lawmaking and representation.
No, there are other things that lawmakers should know. That's why today at that 3-day retreat, those particular representatives will have to know the rules. It happened, Harris, you don't imagine one of the lawmakers can say, according to our rules, so the speaker say, what part of the rules? He say, according to our rules. And according to our rules, it's not so.
It's not so you got to.
So it will make lawmakers to understand, they know their rules, to know, the different positions, your committee's functions, how many committees you own, to embrace each other's. Because most of the new lawmakers, not the respect to them, some of them are really, really performing. They don't have to go for retreat, but most of them have to. Because sometimes you just say, my own lawmaker saying, man, going over into it. Because
the lawman just raised hand the first time it began news.
He not really talk, but the post you on camera. Like yesterday, I saw one guy. I saw one of the lawmakers. They take picture. The man here, what the microphone talking? The man here, and you see how lawmaker talk. The man talking that you never know what I was talking. Who knows what I mean?
I kept saying before we wrap up with you. In all fairness, now that this initiative is being sponsored by international partners, I don't see the reason why. The issue, the press bureau, or whatever the House itself will, manage the information in terms of the budget line, because this one is not like bringing people money again. The foreign partners money, so you can't handle it now. So it's not like the Ministry of Finance is sponsoring this thing, and you're very careful. You don't want to tell Liberians for the 4-day retreat we're going to be using, the 3 days retreat. We're going to be using X amount of dollars, which of course will spark popular uproars. Perhaps it may be the reason as well as to why the information is being managed in terms of the budget line for the retreat.
And even the House is very, very careful, mindful of the situation.
I'm trying to get Robert hints, but he's not picking though. Go on.
So the House is really, really mindful of this situation, because they don't want to experience an event similarly that has been hampering right now to the Liberian Senate. So the Speaker was even, emphatically clear that we have to be careful of what we do to that retreat. Imagine, Harris, the venue of the retreat wasn't even announced till late yesterday's evening. So the first thing we hear in the corridors who have been Farmington, but we featured it for the announcement to be made either by the press bureau or by the House's Committee on Rules, Order Administration, with
Was-
finance, or even the leadership of the House to make the announcement to say the only announcement was done by the Deputy Speaker, who was then presiding that day, and said by the 20th, beginning to the 20th to the 24th, there will be a retreat, and announced committee members on a retreat to organize. But the venue wasn't announced. So I think I can try to get Rabo from my end.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think
okay. He just replied, man, and so let me just bring him on.
Okay.
Rabo Haynes is the director of communication. Is that how you guys call it?
Yeah, he's the director of press and public affairs.
Okay, the director of press and public affairs at the House of Representatives. Okay, we hope we'll bring on Mr. Haynes this morning. We hope to. Okay, he has joined us. Good morning, Mr. Haynes. Thanks for picking up. This is Punch FM.
Good morning.
All right, you are live on the radio. This morning, we are receiving as per information that the House of Representatives will have a legislative reform forum in partnership with EU, the UNDP, the UN Women as well. We felt the need to have you on this morning to give us just an insight about the activity that is expected to kick off on today.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's going to be a 3-day legislative reform forum 2024. Contrary to what some people have basically said, retreat. It is not a retreat because we have these foreign donor partners involved, local partners involved in terms of the National Elections Commission, NEC, where they are going to be to look at the new election law, engagement with stakeholders, and also having these foreign partners like the EU, as we mentioned earlier, the EU, the UN Women, the United Nations Development Program, and these people coming, Irish Aid, and so forth like that. So, a legislative reform forum is going to cut across looking at first and foremost is here under the theme responsive lawmaking, proactive oversight, and people-centered representation. So it is more like a kind of capacity building training of the House. And these are stakeholders who are involved. It is taking place at the Farmington Hotel. It kicks off this morning at 9 o'clock for the introductory part of it. And it's going to be an overview, and then we're going to move into sections.
We are basically concerned because we have our legislative reporter, Gibson G, who has filled in with all of the basic information. But a bit of data caught our attention is the issue on the financing of these activities, because mind you now we have had just a recent experience with what is currently, quote unquote, misinterpreted with that of the Liberian Senate, and with this conversation coming up from the House of Representatives on a capacity building, perhaps a lot of Liberians have misunderstood and felt that this initiative is that of the Ministry of Finance. The funds to run this entire process is being carried out by the Ministry of Finance. So we felt the need specifically in terms of the sourcing of these activities.
Well, like I mentioned to you, the House is in partnership with these. This is not a Ministry of Finance funded initiative. And as I said to you, it is not a retreat, but instead a legislative reform forum, having these partners involved. And so having the European Union is not going to fund political gatherings. The UN Women is not going to fund these kind of stuff like this, as you may term it. But this is coming from these people who are working. We're working in partnership to make sure that yes, we have some refreshing of legislative knowledge, and so that's how it is.
Okay, thanks so kindly, Mr. Haynes, for picking up in a very short space.
Well, thank you very much, and continue to do the job you people do every time. It's nothing easier to wake up as early as 5 o'clock in the morning to get prepared, get on the radio, to inform the public. I'll tell you guys, thank you so much for the opportunity you afforded us to be able to speak more time to the happiness in the country, respect to the Honorable House of Representatives.
Okay, thanks, Akane. Robert Haynes is the Director of Press and Public Affairs at the lower house, the Gibson. Of course, I listen to him. I'm trying to bring on Representative Small Mobile. You know what, he's not picking us well. So okay, so he has responded to me. Gibson, we just take him for a few minutes.
Yeah.
You know, he will be part of it. Representative Small Mobile of district number 3.
He's just one of the newest lawmakers.
The newest lawmakers.
So it'll be more important to have him.
We just hope he picks up in time. All right. He has given me the green light to bring him on this morning. Okay, he has joined us. Good morning, Representative Small Mobile. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Coming in a bit distorting. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, it's good to have you on the line. Thanks so kindly for picking up in a very short space. We are told that the 55th legislature will have a legislative reform forum beginning on today, and you are fortunate to be one of the beneficiaries of that training, especially a new lawmaker up Capitol Hill. How do you see this initiative, and what exactly your own anticipation as we speak?
All right. I think the retreat is very important as it relates to reformation, and we all like the newcomer body idea because it gives us some highlight into legislative engagement to that of the issue of budgeting, public budgeting. And we deem it necessary that it's important that we go for training, and this is the reason we are here for the retreat.
There is this perception that this initiative, having been sponsored by our partners, foreign partners, it has the propensity or perhaps the proclivity to say that the House will be controlled by those foreign partners as we move along, because the House now activities have been funded by those partners.
I don't think as people you deem it. I have no know that the partner will take full charge of the House because we are individual alone from our country, and we stand for what our people want because we have to get people to do decision as it relates to issue pertaining to this country. So I think it's like helping in the process. Have to mitigate the issue of corruption. I think it's necessary that people come in like partner to come and help, and even to have the partner being part of the process also help us engage us as it relates to the common relationship with our partners. So as it relates to stakeholder, and they be part of our group out there that are giving support. I think receiving support from them help to minimize the issue of corruption. And I think it's necessary at this time so that we can have a transparent play that the librarian understand that we are here to do that job and not to take that money as their money. Yeah.
Quickly, before we take leave of you, there is this conversation now, mind you, with recent experience, the Librarian Senate recently held its retreat in Grand Bassa. Even though that conversation was very important, but what took the center stage was the quote-unquote the DSA that is received, which caused a lot of misreactions amongst Liberians as we speak. I mean, we were concerned. You guys will be at Farmington for 3 days. I mean, at any point in time, were DSA provided for your state at Farmington?
No, we haven't started yet. There haven't been any GSA provided. And for what, I'm not the main one to speak on this issue. It should be done by the head of the House, people that are on the executive, the Committee of Labor. I would like to speak to labor-related issue. But with the GSA, what I'm told in the corridor, we're going to receive something like 10,000 Liberian dollars each for the day provided. Yeah.
Per day or the entire process?
10,000 Liberian dollars for a sitting a day.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
So we and our two servers. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you to the people of Liberia.
Thank you as well. Representing the small mob out of district number 3, Jonas Gibson. We're just going to wrap up with you. We'll listen to both sides. and so, I'm a minute, 10,000. I didn't feel that I get represented 50. Anyway.
But the problem that we told you that this has been funded by international partners. So the people are not going to spend all their own money on you. The best thing is the people just won't teach you or send anything there for you. Like if that man wanted 10,000, I didn't go on the radio. But again, you know, it was nice to have the public affairs director Roberts and to have the district 3 representative to provide the kind of things that added to what we've already said. You know, it was nothing different. You know, it was just an addition. So again, yes, we are on a on a standby in case of anything. We're there to provide the rest of the information for the public.
Okay, thanks so kind of. Gibson G is our legislative reporter at the lower house. You listen to him providing an overview of the legislative forum that's expected to be held beginning on today. We take 2 calls, at least 2 or 3 calls, then we transition. Like we told you this morning, we'll discuss some issues affecting children in Liberia. But we'll take 1 or 2 calls now. You listen to the various sides representing the small mobile says the which will be on today. There is an expectation that they will receive DSA, but the DSA will be not more than 10,000 Liberian dollars. Yep, that's what was the information that they are receiving, but it's not confirmed yet. So we'll take 1 or 2 calls. 0778 665 699 088 0561 644. This person is right there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. How you do?
It's good to have you. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. My name is Adam Kwon, and I'm in Johnsonville. Yeah, thank you so much. I think what just occurred at the level of the Senate on retreat, I think the lower house is taking cue, and I hope and I hope what the representative just said, and that of the spokesperson of the House, I hope that would be the real issue, because the lawmaker will come on the public space, will come with different information, and then at the back will do different things. They should know that right now the country is struggling in terms of budgetary support. But I think the lawmaker can always be the one to show to the people that there is money in this country, and there's no need for government to be complaining because of their activities. The leverage expenditure on themselves is even more than what's supposed to be spent on the public. So with the level of education that the Liberian people continue to get, I think in this current dispensation, there is a lot of eyes on the lawmaker in terms of their daily expenditure. And I think that is the good start for us. Those of you in the media, please keep it on, continue to bring them to the public space as it relates to whatever that relates to public money being spent by them. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Okanda. We take at least one more person, then we transition to our guest, the 0778 665 699 080561644. Yep, this person is right there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Let's hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Good morning to the many listeners following the broadcast. My name is William Corbett, and I joined this conversation from Michigan City.
Yes,
you see, thank you so much, and I've listened to our lawmaker to find, but I think that was not the right information he tried to provide to the public. Because, mind you, this lawmaker appeared at the intellectual forum on Sunday in district number 3 supermarket covering the Congressional Council Intellectual Forum. And this lawmaker was exact and clear to us that this retreat they are going to receive money. And he told us his heart that it is a corruption money we're going for, and we will take it. Instead, because if I refuse my own, the other people will take it and use it for some purpose. So for that basis, we all take it, and I will take my own.
I'm hoping to have that recording, Alfred. But as it stands, he admitted that the conversation in the corridor as you speak is that there will be DSA provided. Mind you, now this initiative is being funded by the UN and that of the Swedish government. So there is no, I mean, a way out that lawmakers will receive coalition money for that. I mean, that thing is an I'm gonna say a foreign partner initiative. You want to speak?
Okay, so yeah, maybe only the Trump panel or initiative only may announce, but the government of Liberia only may not like to announce it because I said motto or clear, and I have a video recording to that.
The government of Liberia, the Ministry of Finance, as we speak, even on yesterday, the speaker blasted that the Ministry of Finance has deliberately, allegedly refused to provide funding towards that effect. So that I'm saying it was the reason why the international partners have to step in, because the House, I mean, requested that they support, I'm saying they sponsor this initiative. So I don't know, but I'm hoping to have that recording, Afre.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Then why would the lawmaker definitely to us that I go money, and the money is the corruption money, and I'll receive my own. And if I come, I'm going to buy the first 5,000 bricks. That's why he told us. He said he's going to buy the first 5,000 bricks for, I don't know who want a project you want to undertake or not, right? He was very definitely with us. He did not say we may. He said we will.
Okay.
So if it's something that already been playing that other than already knew,
I mean, at 50,
no,
10,000, I'm saying at 10,000, I bring that many getting.
10,000, I cannot do anything. So maybe that's the international partner who is trying to enact. But we will know.
Okay.
As much as the government fund anything or get our time, we will know. And when we know, we'll hold them accountable that they are not trusted. Then there's no need for anybody to believe them. Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you. Thanks so kindly. We leave the call segment right there. Yep, we'll leave the segment of calls right there. We just said now we cross over. We have our guest Ishmael Loken has joined me in the conversation this morning. Ishmael's co-assistant. Good morning, Ishmael, and thanks for coming. I mean, you can't late today.
Yeah, you know, I was actually challenged with this thing about the weather because I'm one of those persons that have the view that no matter how this been for, I won't make an attempt to buy because I'm very quick to forget about it. So it really hurts me to buy it within a few days and just lost. So we'll be managing, you know, till we pass this winter seasons. But so it's actually great to be here this morning on the breakfast show, most especially this Friday edition, to serve our breakfast as usual, wherein to provide a platform so that the voices of Liberians are heard, so that their leaders are being made to account for some of the things they do. So I was following, you know, when you were asking the director of press and public affairs at the House of Representatives, you know, when you question whether is it a retreat or a reform, and he was quick to state that it's a reform.
And then careful how the choosing I was.
Exactly. So I guess that, you know, the House of Representatives does not want to be held in the web as compared to that president. There is everybody is speaking. And on yesterday, the protest, all of the statements that were coming up from Senator DeLong, Amara Kone, and Primo,
everything now.
Yeah, these are actually interesting times in our country. And this morning, we have Team Stand Liberia, and they have this planned outreach. So we're going to talk about that. And part of the conversation, going to focus on some of those social, you know, problems that continue to affect kids or children in general in Liberia. We're counting, as we just celebrated, you know, International Day of the African Child on June 16th. So we have Team Stand Liberia, you know, on the show this morning. So we begin with the executive director, so that he just introduce himself, and we continue with the rest of the team member. Good morning.
Good morning, Liberians, and good morning, everyone listening. I want to say thank you to the host and you, Ishmael. It's been nice being here. My name is Mr. Zukra, formerly Enoch Zukra, and I serve as the executive director at Team Stand Liberia.
Yeah, so we go around. You both going to use this mark. So yeah, it just be positioned that way. You want to?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Rebecca Efio, a member of the Team Stand Liberia.
Okay, we move to the next person. You dress this back closer to them. So, okay, it's okay. I'm not getting you. You have to come closer to it. She's still not coming through. Okay, let me see. Go on.
First of all, thank you all for the privilege. And I'm Joseph
I'm still not getting Joseph A. Come again?
First of all,
Okay.
thank you.
I think you're good. Go on. So we will go on.
First of all, thank you all for the privilege today. And I'm Joseph F. Wallace, a proud student of Kingston Library.
I think the both of you guys will use this mark. I'm not getting you through that. Wow. Okay, go on.
And I'm Joseph F. Wallace, a proud student of Kingston Library.
Okay, Joseph and the next person there. I think Ismail, you have to fix it so that it shouldn't be used.
I'm TRS Tama, the face of Kingston Liberia.
The face of Kingston Liberia. All right, the next person.
I'm Tico Joyce Taule, a proud member of the People's Favorite Team.
People's favorite team. So we going to have an adjustment. Ismail, you will join me from this end. Then one and this person will use that mark. Yeah, we have to do it, folks, because I'm not getting them through. So yeah, I'm not really. You guys are not really coming through. But folks who have Kingston Liberia, like we said, we're gonna have. I just want to discuss children issues. So okay, that's good. That's a perfect match. All right, Ismail will join me from this end. So let's begin with the executive director. When we talk about Kingston Liberia, Kingston Liberia, you want to tell us exactly what some of the job, the work you guys do.
Actually, I don't really want to start the conversation because we have ambassadors here in this particular, but because of the privilege, I would like to. So, Kingston Liberia is known as the People Favorite Team of Change, and it was founded December 18, 2020, and we are known for our trainings. We train in students in public speaking and reading development. Then we do a lot of motivational and awarenesses, which is what we're about to talk about. So, like I said, we are the people's favorite team of change, advocacy, public speaking, and academic development. We've been around in Liberia and hosting a lot of programs, and our aim mainly is to reduce this phobia or this notion that kids cannot be able to stand on their own or speak out. So this is the reason why we move from community to communities to make sure these issues are being heard and then brought forth and work out. So most of our participants, they came with some problem, like some phobia, some issues, but then after 1 or 2 trainings, we can see how they are improving. So like most of the kids are they are born with like this enthusiasm that they can do it, but some of them are not. So we focus our training basically on their speaking skill and their eloquence. So Kingston Liberia is also meaning, we look forward to the change in the kids' life. So we look for change. Right now, the whole country right now is running. When I say running, it's kind of risky. So everybody wants better and good for their children. So this is why we provide these kind of trainings for them, that even if they grow, they cannot depart from it.
I'm saying before we move on to your team members you brought, as an executive director of this institution, Kingston Liberia, I'm looking through. I'm seeing a lot of brilliant young, children you have brought along with you.
Okay.
How do you go about recruiting them in terms of, getting, the support of the parents? Because for a parent to trust you with their child is a whole different conversation. Imagine you making your time here at 8 o'clock this morning. So while, a parent will allow their child feeling confident with you at 8 o'clock this morning to appear on the radio. I'm saying, how do you go about doing this?
Okay, firstly, it is by the grace of God. Because before we started this, we had God into how, like, God, this is what I'm about to do, and if it is your will, then let it be done. So our parents are known for that's the primary sponsors of this thing. So they come to us like we're talking about the training aspect. When we sign this case, we have a lot of terms and conditions, and we make sure we give them the courage that this team is not it's different. It's like a family. We create this family union where the trust is there. So even at their homes, when there's trouble, we are there. At their school, we are there. So we gather all of the information about this case and know how to work with them and make sure that we stand to our promises, because you cannot take somebody's child and then you come to security wise and then you just take somebody's child any kind of way. No, we have this understanding that okay, this time around we'll do this. We don't just call them abruptly. So we have our time schedule. We have the time we can work with them. We have, even when the children have problem at home, the parents. So we create this avenue where Team Stand Library is like a family, that everyone's situation is another person situation. That's how we structure and we build this entire organization.
Okay, so we move across the table. Let's begin from this. And you want to tell me how they choose you to be part of this thing, the Team Stand Library? How exactly, when you met them, when they told you to come on board?
Well, I'm Tiara Stamba once again. Team Stand Library don't choose people. We have interest in Team Stand Library. If you have interest, you can just call them for example, my school. You know where Eston. When I first attended Eston, Team Stand Library is basically there. They are situated there. There's where they have their office. So I saw this bunch of kids doing well, speaking out. So I told my mom, can I be part of them? She said,
were you moved by that?
yes.
Oh my word, that's good.
And she said, if you can have the person's number, bring it to me, I will consider it. So I got to Mr. Sogra. At that time, he was my teacher. I didn't really know him like that, just teacher and student. But I went to him, asked him about Team Stand Library, and he was so excited explaining it to me. And I got his number. My mom came on the campus. She registered me in Team Stand Library. I took my interview. I passed and I on Team Stand Library.
Since then, you've been there. How's the feeling like? I mean, what are some of the things you get? How you feel when you are part of this process? I mean, how really you feel?
I feel so excited because Liberians are hearing my voice. What I have to say, they are changing by it. I feel so excited.
But you seem like you don't have a problem. There's no problem for you. Okay, we move to the next person. You want to tell us as to how you were choosing? She said, "Oh, I can't choose people." How do you? I'm saying, at what point in time you became part of this process, and what really moved you to be a part?
Yeah. Once again, I'm Joseph here, Paris.
Just press the microphone closer. No, don't use it. Okay, that's good.
Actually, I was moved by Mr. Sokra. I can remember some part of last year when I was graduating from the 9th grade. I carried my speech to Mr. Sokra for him to edit it for me. And then while doing so, he started showing me some of their videos, and right away I got inspired by that. So I told him, but I want to join this team. Yeah. And right now, as I'm speaking, I have experienced so many good things in my life because most especially when it comes to speaking out, gradually
you're moving on.
Yeah.
That is good. I moved this morning. I moved by the kids. Let's listen to you as well. You want to tell your own experience also as to how you were part of this thing, how you became a part of this.
Okay, once again, I'm Rebecca Fio. I became a member of Team Stand Library through a friend. Once during my 13th birthday, I did a speech, and then she saw it. She was like, wow, she told my mom, you are wasting this little girl time. I have seen a team. It's into public speaking. It helped kids out. So my mom decided to register me to it. And Mr. Sokra helped me out too. Because at first I was shy, every time I did my speech, I was shy, but he helped me, motivated me to become an eloquent speaker.
Okay, and since then, how has it been for you?
Since then, it has been good. Making videos,
Mm.
helping other people's life to change. Because when I speak out, it encourage other people to speak up as well.
Let's go back to I'm hoping to get your name. I hope you have to move along. I know all of you. Dara, this is Dara. This is Josephine. You
Rebecca.
or Rebecca. Okay. Go by the bow. I know it. Josephine in the bow. But oh, okay. So let's hear you too. You want to talk to me? Tell me how you became a part of this thing.
Well, I was in Team STEM Liberia since the year 2020.
Mhm.
I had interest in speaking out and motivating people, and I really like to advise and also help give awareness. So
How old are you?
I'm 12 years.
12 years, and you like to advise people. Okay. Maybe you'll be a counselor as both along. And how exactly the feeling has been since you've been a part of this. I mean, how exactly you feel?
I feel great because every day I'm improving, I'm learning new things, and it helps me a lot.
Okay, we go back. Folks in the kids are brilliant. I moved already. I moved by them, by what they say, and the way they say what they say. We move on to DRS. DRS, you want to tell us what are some of the reactions you receive from your friends? Like, you're part of this thing. There are a lot of kids out there that are wasting at times in your community, maybe even in your school, in your class. How ready? What are some of the things they say to you?
Mostly in my school.
Mhm.
So Team STEM Library, like in the common library, saying we like the shower here.
Mhm.
So every time we go to the radio station, if we go back to school, we always talk about the radio station, always talk about good things. So some people might say, you're eating STEM Library, what about eating STEM Library?
Mhm.
Sometimes they might talk bad about Team STEM Library. I might feel sad sometimes, but I'm motivating myself. I said, I'm not moved by what people say about Team STEM Library. I'm eating STEM Library. I'm gonna make this work. I'm not gonna listen to what these kids are saying. All I know, I need to stand up and I'm gonna change people's lives.
Let's move on to Josephine. You want to tell us as well in your community, in your school, being a part of this, it take a lot. I mean, sometimes your friends, your peers, what are things they say to you? Some of the things they tell you.
Actually, it's kind of challenging because where you find yourself in a certain community or environment where you don't find so many people into public speaking or into advising people, everyone tries to go the wrong way or something. But actually, some of the experience I get, most especially when I'm going to for instant behavioral practice, and when I pass the one of my auntie place, she'll tell me you're going to stand Labira up. Yeah. She'll be like that, you're going to stand Labira up. I said yes. She said yes. So you people should stand Labira up good though, because right now Labira is laid down. Yeah, just like that. It can be so much fun sometimes, but some people in the environment they can be kind of bullying us, but nevertheless, we're going to reach come because we know what we stand for.
Okay, we move on to Rebecca. Rebecca, you want to tell us for in your community and around your environment, what are some of the reactions you received from those that know that you're part of Team STEM Liberia?
Well, from my community, the people there, they always tell me that I love to speak series. I love to I don't love to associate myself with them. Some of them say I'm selfish because I'm part of things in Liberia. We make videos, we go on YouTube, we go on radio station. They usually tell me that I show myself, but I don't think about them because I know what I'm doing is right and I'm no motivating other people makes me happy. So I continue to do it.
Okay, and I also move Maxim Pacquiao. Maxim Pacquiao, yeah, an activist as well. Said, this is my Liberia number. Please pass it on to the young people in studio leadership. They can ring this number anytime after Get What You Got. Please don't say this. Oh, my word, I have already said it. Okay, let's move on. Lisa, what's her name?
Tico Joyce.
Tico Joyce. Tico, tell us. 12 years old, you love advising people. I mean, you love public speaking. When you go out, in your community, perhaps in your school and around your friends? What are some of the things they say to you, the reaction? What exactly some of the things they tell you?
It doesn't happen in my community, but it's
Mhm.
mainly on my campus.
Okay.
I get sometimes they'll want to like draw me away when they are discussing issues, and if we are having a group project, they'll want to leave it on us because we are Team
Mhm.
Liberia
Everybody
members.
feel like you're the smartest people now, so you don't do anything.
And you know the funny thing about it is that once you want to lecture, they will say still a provoking career.
Mhm. Oh, for real?
But project, they will say, oh, that go there.
Oh,
That go there. That
okay.
go talk to her.
Mhm.
So I feel really happy because
I wish you could have all of them on the camera. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that. Just me, Ismail. You could take the chair. Let you use it. The next person will come. If all of them can use the one microphone, but let them be on the camera. It's very interesting. Yeah, go on.
I feel some of the kids are moved. Actually, some of our peers are moved, but I think it's because they see other children laughing and talking.
Mhm.
That's why they are
Go on.
joining the group
Mhm.
to bully us.
Okay. And at times like that in such a situation, do you feel like giving up? Do you want to just leave it? You don't want to be part of it again? Because I mean, as a kid, you have every time you're being bullied, every time you're being, misjudged, these kinds of feelings they bring.
Well, I don't really feel that hurt
Mhm.
because I know, and you know the funny thing, another person that also bully us is a member of the team.
Mhm.
So that also relieves me.
Okay.
And someone wants to be part of the team, and
Yes,
he
okay.
said it is the reason he bullies us is because his friends are bullying us.
Mhm. All right. Ismail, you wanna tell me this one?
Yeah, it's actually a great to have Team Stand Liberia this morning, and I'm concerned about your planned, outreach. So tell us, what should the people or your audience expect from your retreat?
Positive changes.
Okay. So what are some of those things you're going to be telling them? So because
We will be in communities like South Cleaner and Johnsonville to speak on various topics like discrimination, stereotypes, xenophobia, helping other people to stand out for themselves, not only to speak out, but to speak loud for themselves so people can hear them. We go to these communities because of their population. We need sponsors to go to our communities, yes, but we go to these communities because of their population. We see these problems every day. Some of our team members live there. So they see problems and they come to tell us, and we decide to go to these communities to just help people, talk to them. Some of them are ignorant to what they are doing. So we just go there and help them, talk to them to know that what you are doing is wrong and what you are doing is right.
What are some of the wrong things when you say you go there to talk to them on the wrong things that they do? I mean, you want to tell us some of the wrong things you have identified
Some of the wrong
in
things,
Team Liberia.
they are discriminating others.
Mhm.
They don't know what others are going through, but they're just staying away from them, like stereotyping others.
Mhm.
Don't judge the book by its cover.
Mhm.
They are stereotyping other families because of one person.
Mhm.
For example, if this one child does wrong, you say the whole family does it. No, you don't know what that person is going through. Don't discriminate yourself from them. Don't have xenophobia for people and just do whatever you want to do to them because you
Is
have
this a-
xenophobia for them.
Is this a problem affecting children across
Yes.
Liberia?
Yes. And also in Liberia, the harassment on children is too much.
Mhm.
Most especially in school.
Yeah. And also they suffer from victimization
Mhm.
because they don't know how to speak out and speak loud for themselves. So if you start to speak, once you know someone is harassing you, they are bullying you all the time, start to speak. Like my ED said, to remind or bullies for a bully to not come near you, warn them 3 times, and 4th time is a slap.
And you are blocking you able to.
You should send
Far from this.
yeah, stay far from them.
Mhm.
You should
But
give
but
your
but, but, but I'm
electricity.
coming before we move on to Rebecca. You tell us that at times you want to speak, and there is this conversation that when children speaks, when children speak, no one listens to them. I mean, no one gives them attention.
That's why we said
Mhm.
don't just speak out, but speak
Loud.
loud.
Mhm.
People will hear you if you speak loud.
By shouting.
No, not by shouting
By
like what
doing
we are
it
doing.
the
Okay.
proper
What
way.
we are
Oh, this
doing.
is a loud aspect.
Yes,
Okay.
we are speaking loud so Liberians can hear us, because sometimes we go and they will ignore us
Mhm.
and we will feel so bad, but nevertheless, we are still moving forward.
Let's move on, Rebecca. You guys, this outreach you will be on. What are some other problems? I listened to DRS talk about discrimination. Thiklo, is that your name? Tico. Okay. Thiko talks about victimization, most especially children. What are other problems as well you have identified that this outreach will really focus on?
Pre-charging people, which is called predators.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not good to charge. Like Terry says, it's not good to charge a book by its cover because you haven't yet read it.
Mhm.
Today, many people judge their friend because of the way they look through their appearance. It's not right.
Mhm.
They need to stop it.
Is this a real problem in Liberia?
Yes, and also racism.
Mhm.
Your skin color, your
Mhm.
race. People are judging people by it, but it's not really happening in Liberia.
Mhm.
It's happening in other countries.
Let's move on, Josephine, as well. You want to tell us also?
Rap and also harassment.
Mhm.
Most especially harassment can take place in schools. Like for instance, when a guy touches a girl
Mhm.
unwantedly,
Mhm.
and then she's like, "Oh, stop it." Most especially when they bring it to you in a sense where, for instance, I start the girl off of her breast,
Mhm.
and then she'd be like, "Oh, stop it." She's not putting seriousness to it.
Mhm.
She's not putting seriousness to it. But then he will continue doing it because they said a drop of water can turn into a moldy
Mhm.
A
Right.
bowl of
Mhm.
pushing.
and then she's not putting seriousness to it, but he keep on doing it,
Mhm.
and if trust me, he's gonna continue.
He's going to continue with it.
Yeah, it's
It's going to continue, and like that, especially I mean, for you females, I'm saying, is this only about females, Team Stand Liberia? Because I'm looking at you. You guys are not.
It also happens to
No,
boys.
yeah, when you guys are not gender sensitive, and this is where my problem is.
No,
You-
the guys are not serious.
Oh my word!
Yes, the guys are not serious. Some of them look at us and say, Team Stand Bro, we are tired. And we say, oh, we are the women, we are not tired, we are moving forward. If you drop, we help you, we pick you up. And we say that boy, you say no, we leave you. We are going.
But in every organization, you find the males are the one dominating. I'm surprised
But this
that
organization,
that Team Stand Liberia we have.
we have males. If they come here, you already enjoy them. We have males. But
why you
to
bring
get
them?
them to come, that's the problem.
So the
They don't go
willingness.
for practice often. So we look at the people that go for practice, people that practice often to come to radio stations. But even practices, males don't really attend. Some of them will say, oh, I'm tired. And some are living in the compound that Team Stand Abroad office is. But they say they're tired.
So like that, you guys are shouldering the responsibility.
Yes.
What are the communities you guys will be into? Throughout the outreach, is there a specific time for this thing to occur?
In this
Yes.
month to next month. Yeah. And we'll be in Soakley in Johnsonville.
So in Johnsonville.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. In terms of support, it's a problem because I'm looking at Johnsonville as a very big area. For you to target that entire place, it requires money, it requires funding. Who are even giving you money?
Firstly, our parents are our primary supporters.
Mhm.
So we manage on that for now. but we need support. We need sponsors. We ask people for sponsors, but sometimes they help us. Sometimes some of them say they'll get back to us and we don't hear from them. So just moving on from there.
And we even want to stress as far as into counties.
Mhm.
We don't only want to be in
Oh, you
communities.
just now want to be in community. You want to
Yes.
move on to counties.
Yes.
but
Because it's not only happening in
More
Kingsville.
yeah.
Do you really feel bad, Tico, at times when you look through the streets, you see your friends, your fellow kids out of your age, they are languishing in the streets. Some of them are quote unquote, in the ghettos and in different areas. So you really, what the kind of feeling they bring to you as an individual? And they want nothing saying like Rob, your own say how ready you can feel when you see that in there.
I feel bad
Mm.
seeing my peer in that kind of condition, but I don't know what really happened that they ended up there. So I can't judge.
So you enjoy it, mobile cover. This may want to come there. Mhm.
Yeah, as part of your various topics that you've outlined, and I just want you to throw a little light on this to talk about discrimination stereotype. So because one is listening, well, say, I don't know the meaning of those two words. What is discrimination and what do you mean by stereotype?
Okay. Stereotype is an oversimplified and justified opinions about others.
Mhm.
Stereotype is prejudging others in a simple language.
Okay.
For example, if you see me, if there's something wrong or I'm just abusing in the community, and you say, oh, everyone in your family does that, that's stereotyping.
Mhm.
You are stereotyping my family because don't stereotype my family, don't judge my family based on my performance, based on my experience. No, you are stereotyping and discriminating people is not good. Discriminating is that people speak bad about that person and you say, oh, I don't want to be around that person because she's bad, she's this, she's that. Some young children in our communities that teenage pregnancy, some people discriminate and that's why they feel so sad. Don't discriminate your peers. Even though they are in that, you don't know what got them there. So you gotta get close to them, stop discriminating them and just get to know them, know what they are going through. Yeah.
And also, discrimination is the act of treating someone unfairly.
Mhm.
Because, like take for example, I have lots of dominoes and someone don't have dominoes. So if that person to play with me, I would say, no, you get some. You get some. So you play on my play 13.
Mhm.
That's what the teacher
Mhm.
say. You play on my play 13. Move from here. That's discrimination. Don't look at the person and start judging them. And discrimination also leads to gossip.
Mhm. And gossiping is good. It brings out the G's.
Yeah.
But let's look at what I want you guys this morning to tell us. You have identified the problem. Now the problem is that children are faced with stereotypes. Children are faced with discrimination. Some of them have been harassed, like Josephine talked about. Some of them, we talk about. Someone spoke of. Sexual violence and the different forms. I'm thinking, I still, where the problem is coming. Who should be blamed for all of this thing? Because someone is saying if children have the right environment to play, the right environment to learn, there's someone talk about it in your school, you experience harassment. So when the right environment is being provided, there will not be, in terms of harassment. So I'm asking, has Team Stain Liberia identify who should be blamed for all the things that are happening? All the one children are getting, some children are not in school, some of them, there is no direct benefit to them. Who do you think the problem is? Who this morning should we blame for all the things happening?
Can I come in?
All of you, anyone can address it.
Well, actually, they didn't choose to be like that. Maybe their parents don't have the hint. Yeah. And because of poverty, they can't afford to take their child to school. That's why you see them passing around.
Can I come in?
Go on as well.
Some of them it's not about poverty to go. Some of them is about your friend, peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Peer pressure, you follow friend because your friend is wearing a limited edition of a new brand bag. You want that too, and you know full well that your parents can't afford it, but you want it, and you don't know how your friend got it. Peer pressure can come in two ways, either negative or positive.
What's the positive side of it?
The positive side is where we have a constructive jealousy over your friend. When you see your friend exceeding, you ask them, how did you exceed? Once they tell you that, oh, I work hard to exceed, you say, I want to get my own double. That's positive peer pressure. But most of the time, when we say peer pressure, people only think about the negative side. What's about the positive side? The negative side also is the rate of negative peer pressure in Liberia is very high because that's why most of the people in the ghetto. That's why most of the people are in the ghetto today. You at risk.
Have you guys been to the ghettos as well, like you said, to see your kids? The last time I checked, I saw a kid. I think it was 9 years or so. 11 years old. I can still remember that boy, and he was satisfied. He was comfortably relaxed in that ghetto. I mean, as 11 years. So this morning when I listened to you guys speak, I'm thinking as to whether your outreach, your activities is also focusing on those kids on the streets, those ones that are on the streets. Some of them are in the ghetto, some of them are in, I mean, what are your activities focus on that as well?
Yeah, we need to focus on the youth. So we go to them. If they want to listen to us, we will talk to them, tell them, oh, what you are doing is not good. Take us to your parents. Some of them don't have parents. Some of them, they were born in a ghetto. Some of them, yeah, mistake happen. But we can talk to them and they can change. Yeah. Our voices can be heard by them.
Let's go back to the support aspect. Is very important. I'm saying you guys have a lot of beautiful plans. You guys have a lot of great work you want to do, and I'm confident when the executive director is using you guys to go out there to talk to case, you're going to win a lot of them on board. Because I just wish I was smart to do it. Wow.
Visual aspect.
And also we need an office space.
An office space.
Yes.
Okay. No money. Hey, they won't be.
Have money in abundance, like we have money. People call in Nigeria sometimes and ask us for help. For example, if you have 4 kids and you can afford to send all of them to school, maybe we can take you 2 and sponsor them in school. And we teach them how to become a public speaker like that. And Tipson abroad, maybe one day we can have our own charity home to help these people, these kids that are on the street. So if we have surplus money, we will help other people. For now, we just need sponsors to do what we are doing. And in the future, you'll see some positive changes.
Indeed, folks, we have with us Tim Stan Liberia. Brilliant case this morning. Into various activities, popular speaking, motivational counseling as well. They go out there in the various communities, talk to their friends, of their peers, and telling them that this is it. Society has provided some of the worst conditions for us, but we, as children, can live beyond that and still be a good people. I mean, I must admit that I'm moved by the kids this morning. They are brilliant. I mean, they are indeed a representation of what they are learning at Timston Liberia. But my concern, let's begin with Rebecca. At Timston Liberia, is it that you guys only go for brilliant children to be part of you? Because all of you are here, you're smart. So I'm looking at some children are ready at that level. Do you have the capacity to provide, to make them to be great at you people? The way you guys sound, the way you guys are eloquent, do you have the space for that?
Yes. Many kids I think still like bro right now. Some of them are learning how to speak out. Like a little girl
Don't
called-
call someone here. Just don't call nobody name.
like a little girl. At first when she just entered Kingston like bro or myself.
Okay.
So just entered Kingston like real. When I'm talking, I never used to use body language. I used to be like shy, just tie my hands behind me. But my ET motivated me. It told me that speaking out, you need to show body languages. We help kids too out there who don't know how to speak out. We help them to speak out.
And that's the reason why you see every August when school closed like that,
we have the Male Pro
Pro
program.
The what?
The Male Pro program.
The Male Pro program. I almost speak like you're the Male Pro program. Okay, Ismail, you wanna? Yeah, you're coming.
Yeah, and doing the Male Pro, we train public speakers or we train young ones, people who don't know how to speak out, people who don't know how to speak for themselves, and then we teach them how to speak out, teach them their body languages, how to know your posture, gesture, doing the Male Pro. So anyone want to join this here, you are all welcome.
Yeah. So that's why we have the 6 reasons why you should speak out.
What are those reasons? Me, I know you can only speak out because you won't talk. You won't talk, you speak.
So we have silence means approval. Silence means approval.
Yeah, and I hear people saying silent mean consent, silent mean consent. Because I'm silent, it doesn't mean I'm consent. Sometimes silence means you are ignoring the person. Yeah.
For example, if you see a bad act and you say, oh, that's not my concern. I don't want to be a part of that. People, they can hear me or they can demand to me. So I'll stay away. But if you are staying away, you are discriminating yourself from that person because you see someone doing bad to them. You're supposed to go talk to that person and say, oh, what you are doing is not good. What you are doing is not right. Stop that. But you say, that's not my business. You might be the next victim. Being the next victim is that what can happen to someone, it can also happen to you. What happens to children that are raped, it can also happen to us. But unfortunately, it happened to them, but it hasn't happened to us yet. But you can be the next victim is that what happened to that person can happen to you. If you start these small things in school, like if a boy touches you inappropriately, and you just sit down and say, oh, that's my friend, I'm not going to carry his complaint, he will sit down and say, oh, she likes it. So I will keep on doing it to her. And if she does do it to you, she just be doing it to you. It will be to a point that whatever he does to you, you will feel shame in public and you can't stop it now because you have already tell him, oh, you can go ahead and do it because the first time he did it, you didn't do anything about it. Second time, same thing. The third time, you just sitting and he just doing it to you.
Okay.
You have not talking to him.
Before we transition to the phone lines, Ismail, let's look at that. A lot of parents listening and watching this morning. How can they send their children to be a part of this thing as well? I mean, what are the different processes like to be a member of Timston Liberia? But me, my only problem again, won't pick my comedy, man. I don't learn. I know if you can show me that I bring a man that the man will be like, yo, that one, the agreement was signed. I mean, a 9-year-old boy, man, throw son, 9 years.
We can work with that.
I sure we'll sign agreement. You gotta make that man smile at you. Yeah, that one. Who gonna sound be out there?
Do you know? I want to tell you something. The best teacher in this world is yourself. Once you are willing to learn, you will learn. If you are not willing, no matter how they force you, like my teacher said, when they bring rackets or anything for you, and that
they can spend their head and put a book exam, no.
The best teacher is yourself.
Yes. And if you want to register your kid into Stand Liberia, just call the number Orange and Roster. So it's 0770 45 3408. 0770 45 3408. 0888 58 13 15. 0888 58 13 15.
Do you guys also work with other schools aside from the school you guys in?
Yes.
Because I'm seeing this program introducing in various schools across, especially in Monserrato, reaching out to the different institutions, having your club in the different institutions will be really good. I believe that a lot of kids in the different schools as compared to you guys that want to be part of this thing.
Yeah. Not all of us are from the same school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Mhm.
Different schools.
Okay. Let's begin. Which institution are you from?
I'm from Eston Preparatory School.
Where is it located?
GSA Road,
GS.
Boston Community.
GSA Road. And Tico?
Senior.
Two of you. But you say none of you have on the same school. Okay, Rebecca, let's hear you. Which one is this?
I'm from the Morty International School System.
Where is it located?
Upstairs.
Oh, Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, my miss. Oh, small mobile school. I know that.
And I'm from the Kenneja High School.
Kenneja High School. Okay, I think I'm familiar with Kenneja. So we move on now, folks. The case that with all teams 10 Liberia, a part of that as well, they need support. I mean, what they do, they need support. Let's begin to take your calls now. 0778665699. You listen to them, you want to call to appreciate them, to give them words of encouragement. Perhaps you want to say one or two words. We have Marcin Paki who has joined us from the far end. We're there from the United Kingdom. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Always with us on the show.
Morning. How is that? Good morning to Ipsy, and let me say good morning to all the listeners as well. But a very big one. Good morning to our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful future leaders that are sitting in studio this morning. I wish we could even have them for the next 3 hours. Since the show started and they started talking, I just been smiling here and enjoying them as well. Look, you guys are great. I must appreciate you guys. You guys are great. Thank you. I mean, these are issues for myself as a father, especially, bringing up a girl who is now 13. Who also using her, her time and her energy to talk about issues of discrimination here in the UK. I am so thrilled by you guys' presentation this morning, and I just want to appreciate you. I just want to encourage parents that are also listening as well to encourage their children to take this initiative very, very serious as well. My organization, I want to play that. We are hoping to work with you guys, Restoring Hope Foundation International. In the next couple of weeks, we are coming in Liberia to launch the organization. Our open invitation is now being extended to your organization. Once we establish, good contact, we'll send you a written invitation. All of you guys, we want you to come and grace the occasion with us on the 19th of July. Thanks so much for the presentation. All of you are brilliant, everything, and I so much enjoyed your coordination. Nobody is talking over another person, the other person ending and another person picking up to add up, and the questions were all answered brilliantly. I just want to appreciate you guys. I'm celebrating you guys this morning here. And I can't wait to see you guys face to face as well. Thank you so much for the show, guys. Thanks so much for the show. These are platforms. These are people I would want platform to be given to, rather than just politicians every time and then. These are the main people that I would love radio stations to host, television station, online station to host, and let them, let these young people help to even. No, I can tell you this, Harris Gibson. I think I don't even mind to be trained by these young people. Some of the things they said just now, I don't mind applying to be trained by them.
But they say, oh, they can't get me now to school. So yeah, I let me.
I appeal now. I want to appeal to you guys. I want you to take me as a student as well, and teach me some techniques as well. So I'll be able to manage myself. But anyway,
okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks, you guys. We hope to let you please keep try and keep in touch. After the show, you can get my number from Harris.
All right. Okay, we take one or two more persons. Our next set of guests is already here. Yeah, we're gone a long way. We take one or two more calls. If NN 0778-665-699 080-561-644. Adding numbers. Parents, yep, this is an open opportunity for you. For your case to be a part of this, my good friend as well, Jeremiah Swin of the Alliance for Transitional Justice says he wants to be a part of this thing. Oh my word, but I'm calling you not picking Jerry, so I don't know how we're going to do it. But however the case is, Ismail, I mean, you've been around so far.
Yeah, definitely these cases are actually amazing, and we hope that our country can adopt such a trend that most of our young people are engaged into these kinds of activities, because part of this, I had the time to follow the WAS exam, and I listened to two videos, even to ask them to answer a few questions how they feel about the exam. It was a whole thing I don't want to talk about. It was really discouraging. So I hoping that they can get a relevant support so that we have most of our young people engaged into these kinds of activities, so that we have our country, on a very great path. So I will say taking calls.
We already pressed with time. We wrapping up. A lot of folks telling me that they should share that number with the executive director. They want to talk off air with him. That's a very good one. So after the show, perhaps we'll have some numbers given to you that you're going to call them. But let's move on across the table, beginning with Josephine, and we'll close out with DRS. Just your final word. What exactly the last thing you want to tell your friends out there, or perhaps an advice you want to give quickly?
Yeah. Once again, I'm Josephine Alice. My message to the people out there is, most especially the young ones out there, is you should learn to speak out, because God wants us to. Yeah.
Okay. Rebecca will be the next person.
My message to my young peers out there, I would love for you to speak out, because when you speak out, it will help other people to speak out too. So please speak out when something is bothering you. Don't keep it in you. You need to speak out, because when you speak out, it will help other people to help you too.
All right. We'll move on to Tico. Yeah. I hope I get the name correct.
Tico Joyce Saule. And I want to say, if you know you are being harassed or bullied in any way, please say it. And if you know you, like me, you don't know how to fight, just report them to your teachers, and tell the teachers your next action if they continue bullying you.
Okay, and DRS will close up on this segment.
DRS S. Tamba, the face of the People Favorite Team of Change, Team Stand Liberia. Firstly, I want to say thank you to Punch FM for giving us this opportunity to appear here today on their breakfast show. And thank you to our ED, our executive director, and our parents, everyone. So I just want to say, speaking up gives you sense of responsibility and fulfillment. So you should speak up and speak loud. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so kindly. And the executive director will close up with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You are doing an immense work at that area. I hope you continue.
Thank you.
The case, indeed, we are impressed, and even the audience, a lot of commendations coming from them.
Thank you.
So it shows the work you do. I hope you have. I'm saying the next time we're having you to have a gender sensitive team here.
But they said it all. They said they told you the reason why they are here in their same sex. But I want to say thank you to the management of Punch FM. Our team, the management of Team Stand Liberia, we actually look forward to partnership, because we got a lot of activities. After this outreach, we have the CAS, meaning children against rape and sexual violence. That is a one-day seminar, and we hope to host it in either LBS or at the City Hall. So we looking forward to partnership, because that program is something we want different organizations to join us. to help to preach the message against rape and other sexual violence. But for now, we look forward to every child listening to our voices here to speak out and speak loud. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks so kindly. We hope to have you guys here some days again as we move along. It was a very, very wonderful conversation, folks. We have Tim Steen Liberia has been our guest on this segment. We'll take a very short break. Once we return, Mr. Abraham Bailey, the Director General of the Liberia Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau, will be our guest on the second and final segment. We're going to talk agricultural business this morning. We'll go for a break. So be right back.
Tax payment is a national duty.
When we all contribute, we become entitled to development.
We are the authors of our destiny.
Tax payment is a commitment we make towards the future of the unborn generation.
When we pay taxes, we hold our leaders accountable.
Be a part of change. Be a part of transformation.
Pay tax. We all enjoy.
When we all contribute, we become entitled to development.
We are the authors of our destiny.
Tax payment is a commitment we make towards the future of the unborn generation.
When we pay taxes, we hold us accountable.
Be a part of change. Be a part of transformation.
Pay tax. We all enjoy.
My people, you don't hear it? The LRA people, the people then that can collect government taxes, they say that it's time now to pay your real estate tax. Whether you get house or you get land in the city or outside the city, the LRA people say that it's time to pay your tax from now to July 1 this year. The people from the LRA will be in your community to tell you everything you need to know. So look out for them. They will come and teach you everything you need to know about paying your taxes for your properties. Just cooperate when you see them in your community. In your knowing, when you pay tax, all of us can enjoy. When you pay your tax on your land or your house, the government will do plenty fun things for all of us. Pay tax, we all enjoy.
When you living up down, your real property taxes.
You want to take long? Oh God, let's take it. We are the authors of our destiny.
Tax payment is a commitment we make towards the future of the unborn generation.
When we pay taxes, we hold our leaders accountable.
Be a part of change. Be a part of transformation.
Pay tax. We all enjoy.
Tax payment is a national duty.
When we all contribute, we become entitled to development.
We are the authors of our destiny.
Tax payment is a commitment we make towards the future of the unborn generation.
When we pay taxes, we hold our leaders accountable.
Be a part of change. Be a part of transformation.
Pay tax. We all enjoy.
Okay, in the pay tax and we all enjoyed a message from the Liberia Revenue Authority. Like we told you, we have our guest already, Mr. Abraham Bailey, the Director General of the Liberia. That's the, I want to hold my word out. I'm struggling. Let me get this thing right. The Liberia Agricultural and Industrial Training Bureau. It's our guest. He has joined us this morning on the conversation. Good morning, and it feels good to have you this morning.
Good morning, Harris, and good morning to our listeners and to the Punch FM family.
Okay. Health-wise, how you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think you can see from my facial look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have some strength.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, health wise, I'm fine. Generally, I'm okay.
Okay, generally, you're doing very good. How's the agricultural training bureau? I mean, I must share this conversation with you. It was my first time coming across this store, this agricultural training bureau. So when I saw the name the last time, I was like, oh wow. So I really want us to have this conversation. So you tell us what a specific job you guys do, because I to whether this is a separate institution altogether or you work under the Ministry of Agriculture.
Okay, so let me say thank you for the opportunity, and also say thank you for you being there from the very beginning when the training over ceremony was done. I saw you share on your page, and you also been following the work of the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau of recent. So, like you, yes, myself got to know about the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau just this year. Yeah, somewhere around February, when I heard about the institution for the first time. So the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau is an autonomous agency that existed since 1981 by Decree 56, then by the People Redemption Council, the PRC government. So the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau is not an agency, or how do you call it, a bureau or a department within the Ministry of Agriculture. No, it is autonomous. It exists by the decree, like I just said to you, Decree 56. It has number of responsibilities. However, the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau, since the Civil War, has not been functional. Many times of playing the roles, the responsibility, the mandates for which were established. And the Baucus government has decided to reawaken, revamp the bureau to ensure some more improvement in the agricultural and industrial sectors of our country. So the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau has responsibility to regulate all of the informal training sectors, or the informal training institutions, or the informal training programs that are actually carried out in our country. So it has responsibility to conduct trade tests for those who are actually enrolled and graduating from the different technical and vocational education training programs in our country. It has a responsibility to monitor for compliance the TVET institutions and those different institutions that are operating in the informal sector. You may recall the statistics of our employment has largely concentrated on the formal sector. So people in the informal sector has not been largely considered. Even the training programs in the informal sector has not been well coordinated, even though the Ministry of Youth and Sport and the Ministry of Education have been playing some roles in managing the technical and vocational institutions across our country. What has been lacking largely has been regulation, has been the issue of coordination, has been the issue of setting standards, guidelines to ensure those institutions are actually meeting the demands. Yeah, the workforce are actually skilled to the point that the different industries, the different institutions in our country actually need, instead of looking out there in the region, looking out there in other countries, bringing workforce, yeah, that could be recruited from our country. The standards, there are standards set in other countries for people in the informal sector, people in the technical and vocational programs to meet. Those standards, some exist in Liberia, some institutions have established standards, but as a nation, there's not a national standard that the different TVET programs can ensure.
As we speak in Liberia, there's not
as we speak, there is not, to my knowledge, because we have been searching since we took over the institution to ensure the standards, the standards set for the workforce development of our country are actually, enforced, but we are not being able to, see one. This is going to be a responsibility of the AITB, the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau, to establish one. If there is already some work done, if there is already a draft, then the AITB will have to work to ensure that draft is finished and that the institutions are in compliance.
It shows you have a very huge tax, especially mind you that this government favors it favors agriculture as being part of a key period of the government's agenda.
Yes.
I'm thinking at first let's settle out a piece on this conversation. As told, when you took over, I believe that what I'm saying that's what are some of the success story of a predecessor. I mean, perhaps if any, because and like I said, I'm continuing. This thing is entirely. Last night I was reading through and I came across that this institution was established around the 1980s, around the 80s. I mean, so I was like, this institution has been existing all this while, and I'm just hearing about it. So that's what I'm asking as to your predecessor, one who you took over from. What is one of the success story you bet on ground in Asutika?
So the information we have gathered from the turnover note and also speaking with some insiders of the entity, we have realized that the institution has been working more of like, for example, here at Punch FM, where you organize, let's say, activity, and then you invite different institutions or you invite individuals to participate. So lastly, the institution has been functioning that way, where the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport, and other government entities organize their function and then invite the entity to participate. So they have been more of just playing this role of participating in activities designed by different institutions. And in terms of leading on the responsibilities that the institution has been a challenge. One major challenge they have established has been the issue of funding. Yeah, but however, in the absence of funding, there are activities, there are issues that you can address in the absence of funding. For example, just following up on some of the responsibilities that you have. For example, just knowing if the institutions that exist, the TV institution that exists, what specific work they are doing, what different programs they are offering. Because the institution, to my knowledge, was funded to carry out an assessment across the country of TV institutions that are functioning, even though we have been unable to access the report on that particular assessment.
As we speak.
The institution, our understanding is the institution has attempted in the past, to, conduct trade test. I'm not sure that was done. I also have not seen in the report to reference that the trade tests were conducted, but this is also a key responsibility of the institution. I think lastly, there has been capacity gap at the institution.
Capacity gap at the institution.
Yes. So as we speak, the institution is understaffed. Most of the departments that should be functional don't have human resources, don't have capacity, don't have people to be able to perform the different responsibilities of the different units at the entity. Yeah, generally on the issue of successes, I'm still struggling to understand what specific intervention the institution carry out. But there are information that the institution supported curricular development for some TV institutions, even though we also have not been able to access the curriculum that were developed. However, the institution responsibility is not to develop the curriculum, it's to support institutions in their curriculum development. The institution is to ensure the curriculum that are developed by the different TVET programs are in line with the national standards. Yes, so we are currently looking through to understand what are the different issues, what are the different things that the different mandates that the institutions have not delivered on and that we should take very seriously.
It shows that there is no foundational establishment in terms of the functions of this institution since the Civil War ended, because we cannot trace records so as to know whether prior to the Civil War this institution was effective, but since the Civil War ended, because from the different things that you explained, the functions of the institution and what the institution should have been doing all through the years, there's no traceable records as we speak. I'm seeing a whole different picture that you guys at first you have to carry on a branding after the branding process is over before you come and align the functions with that of the different TVS institutions. How is the relationship like? Because there are a lot of TVS institutions in this country, a lot of universities as well that provide agricultural programs as well, that I believe also your functions and your functions will also align with them. I mean, what exactly the relationship? I mean, if there is any existing relationship, as we speak.
So what we have observed since we took over, the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau, to a large extent, has not been in good relationship with most of the government institutions. So the information we have gathered show that the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau has been more of at fight with the Youth and Sport, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and the Ministry of Education. That the Ministry of Youth and Sport and Education are actually playing some of the roles that the bureau should actually be playing. However, they are all government institutions. What you should do, or what we actually intend to do, is to partner with all of the government institutions, to partner with the development partners. We have already started. We are currently engaging with different development partners. We are also engaging with government institutions to ensure that the different roles and responsibility of the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau are aligned with different government sectors and also to the arrest agenda. So like you said, yes, agriculture and education are key pillars of this government. The government has more interest in improving the agricultural sector and also improving the educational sector. As you are aware, even the different institutions, the voluntary teachers, the government has already said that they don't want to see volunteers, and they will support the enrollment of the voluntary teachers into a formal recruitment programs.
As you go about to, negotiate with these partners, what exactly are you telling them in terms of responses? What are you getting?
So we have said to some of the development partners that we need institutional strengthening. Yeah, the institution itself needs to be strengthened, and the different roles and responsibility of the institution also need to be taken up. For example, we are actually planning to conduct a nationwide mapping of the different TVL programs. You may be aware there are different agricultural cooperatives across the country, several of them. What we do know, or we have also gathered, the CDA, the CDA is more of concentrated on certificating the different cooperatives. When the cooperatives actually are certificated oneness, so the oneness is what the Agricultural Industrial Training Bureau is interested in. The oneness is, for example, what capacity do they have to be able to deliver on the different mandates they have, or the different programs that they are running, the different activities that they are involved with. They need training. They also need some other support. So we are actually interested in understanding the different capacity gap at the different cooperatives within the different institutions that are providing education to those agriculturists, and also other informal players. So yes, we have started engaging, and we got a very good signal from some of the development partners we have engaged with. Some of them have said they will support the institution in terms of institutional strengthening, and also they will support some of the programs that we already have earmarked, especially the mapping. If they are currently, we have not been able to establish if mapping has been done. So we are working with them to see if we can be able to map all of the TVET institutions across the country, and also all of the agricultural cooperatives, the cooperatives across the country. So this is key. And then the partners, some of the partners we have engaged with, have said they will support the institution in conducting this nationwide mapping to be able to identify the gaps that exist within the institutions, and also to be able to, develop training needs for the different institutions.
I'm reading through the act that established the Agricultural and Industrial Training Bureau. And part of what I'm getting from here, it says, in implementing the decisions of the government, the Bureau shall, in respect of vocational and technical education and training, required and obtain the active cooperation and support of any government ministry, agency, public corporation, employers organization, management, labor, trade, or craftsmen union. Now, a part of this, it says the Bureau shall conditions as may required for the effective implementation of the aims and objectives of the council, including, now this is where caught my attention, job analysis and occupational standard unit.
Yes.
How does the job analysis come into play?
So the job analysis and the occupational standards, like I said to you, the interest is to be able to develop standards. Yeah, in other countries there are standards, and the job readiness, the skill development institutions actually should be able to live by those standards, should be able to meet the minimum standards. If not, they should not be able, they should not operate.
Okay.
So, for example, there are a number of vocational and technical institutions across the country, not only the public ones that currently the concentrations actually own. The private TVET institutions also are there. So there should be regular monitoring of the institutions to ensure the different standards, the different skill set that we need as a country are actually available or are being produced. Yes. So the job analysis, part of the work that the AITB is to do, is to ensure compliance, is to ensure the different standards are being met by the TVET institutions, by the cooperatives, by the different universities that are providing informal training, to be able to understand where, the different industries actually need to be able to perform. Instead of like we currently are crying out that some of the companies, the low bigger companies, are actually coming in with workforce that should be recruited from our country. But this is also because we currently competitively, not on path with different countries that are producing the different manpower that the companies actually need to operate. So if we have those standards being met by the different institutions, then the AITB should be working with the industries to ensure the different skill set that they need are recruited within the country.
Within the country?
Yes, and are recruited from institutions that are producing those manpower.
Those manpower.
So the point will be, okay, yes, you need this manpower. This institution, let's say in Grand Gita, this institution in Maryland is producing this.
So from what exactly I'm understanding before Ismail comes in, from what exactly I'm understanding, that for instance, Mano Wepam in Bomé, if Mano needs maybe, I'm saying fertilizer assistance, those responsible to, I'm saying fertilize the palm or whatever the case may be. Now the Bureau will tell Mano that our institution, for instance, the Tumutu institution has such a workforce. They have the manpower. So instead of you how you do it.
Yes.
And